evening, everybody. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law of 1975, this meeting notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press on October 12, 2021, and has been duly advertised in the Asbury Park Press, issue of October 14, 2021. All municipal clerks of the townships, the boroughs within the Freehold Regional District have been duly notified, and the requirements of the postings have been met on October 12, 2021. Please rise with me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Mrs. Toscano, are there any changes to the agenda, the executive agenda?
No, Mr. President.
Might I have a motion? I think we
I caught you.
Okay, good. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of April 28th, 2022? That was our public hearing on the budget.
Second.
Diana was-
Yep.
Any discussion? In not hearing any discussion, may I have a roll call?
Mrs. Cappiello?
Yes.
Mrs. Higley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lavin?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger?
Yes.
Mrs. Spinelli?
Yes.
Mr. Parisi?
By phone, yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes. Just a reminder, our communications are on file with the Office of the Board Secretary. We are now going to have Dr. Sampson's report.
Thank you, Mr. Bruno. So, number of items. Obviously, we're heading toward the end of the school year, and in the state's infinite wisdom, it's testing season right now for children. So, the NJSLA will be administered, I believe, from May 20th through June 3rd, right, Dr. Hazel? Each school has already developed their specific testing schedule. To give just a broad overview for folks, it's all ninth graders are taking the ELA, NJSLA. Students who will take Algebra 1 next school year will not need to take the math test this spring. Remember, we're in year 2 now of moving to geometry first in ninth grade, Algebra 1 after that. All juniors will take the science NJSLA, and seniors are not going to be taking any of those assessments. I can say my 5th and my 7th grader have spent the past 2 weeks testing, so I'm not quite sure that's what we need coming out of a pandemic, but we'll be very interested to see what that data does look like when in fact it comes back. Dr. Hazel and Dr. Howell always tell me that I beat this up too much and that there is importance to this, and there is, and there are consequences. I just don't, if anybody is listening whatsoever in both the legislature and the Department of Education, I think they would move off of the testing structure that we presently have. We also have AP testing that's been ongoing over the past week and a half or so. A really awesome event that I had the good fortune to attend at Freehold High School yesterday. We brought together the health professions pathway and the culinary program there at the 5-star restaurant, and Dr. Ross was a gracious host, and special thanks to Brittany Henry and Brian Simpson and the chefs in the culinary program. Really pulled off. We brought in a bunch of local businesses that we're really looking for robust partnerships with. And when we're talking about career technical education, it's really about those authentic experiences, about those real world experiences for kids. It's about the experiences where they can walk out of there with industry credentials and are employable. And so we had, I think, more than a dozen local businesses. We actually were able to sign agreements on site yesterday with a number of these businesses to provide internships for our students. And if you remember, if you go back several years, It's work that I'm really proud of across the district because we received that initial $500,000 grant from the New Jersey Department of Education, and the impetus for that was to grow your career and technical education programs within the comprehensive high school. And we've been able to do that with our health professions pathway, with our culinary program, with our web design pathway. These are all vibrant programs in multiple schools across the district at this point in time. So it's a wonderful day. I actually said after the luncheon and after the conversations, you know, these are the types of things that you go home from work really just excited about the opportunities that this district is able to provide students. So it's a good day. There's also a resolution on the agenda, and I'm sure folks who work in the district in the room are going to be upset about this, to amend the calendar. You know, we did not utilize all of our snow days, so the Friday before the Memorial Day weekend will now be a school closure day. That will be official. A note on the biannual violence, vandalism, harassment, intimidation, and bullying and substance abuse report. You know, one of the things that we've been concerned about during COVID is an increase in mental health needs, you know, across the board, increase in disciplinary infractions, especially when we return to full day school. And I think one of the things, you know, one of the lessons that has come out of this is it's abundantly clear that schools cannot be closed. And the implications for that on students are severe. I was generally surprised when we looked at our numbers of substance abuse issues, and I'm talking from September 2021 to December 21, so we can't really compare it to the previous year because we were closed for several weeks at that opening. But if you go back even a year before then and you look at the numbers, our issues of vandalism, 3, weapons, there had 3 pocket knives, substance abuse, 26, confirmed HIBs, 23. They're all within plus or minus 1. So they're you know, statistically the same. Where we have seen a sharp increase, and it was at the start of this school year, and predominantly 9th graders, was fights. For the same period of time, we had 14 more fights across the district, September through December, than we did 2 years prior. And I think one of the consequences we've all seen as a result of the schools being closed, especially on middle school age students, is that socialization process was stunted. That process of working out a difference with a peer. And so what we saw, especially when we first, at the start of the school year, was, you know, just things that escalated to like pushing and shoving or a punch that had never gone there previously. And so that is where we've seen the increase. You know, it's an unfortunate byproduct. I will say that we did reach some equilibrium after January in those numbers, and I'm sure that when I report this out again on later this school in the fall, that will bear that out. But that's where we sit with that presently. We're up and about in the middle of prom season, end of the year, school year. The rubber chicken circuit is in full effect. There's lots of award shows and dinners and such coming on, so it's a wonderful time for the school system as a whole, and especially for our seniors who are looking to be graduating shortly. And you know, we are absolutely in the home stretch of the school year at this point.
Any feedback on how the juniors made out on the testing?
I mean, you know, we are, you know, going through all of our data from GPA, and, you know, we always do a report of all of our testing, you know, publicly. So we'll have a compilation, you know, of all of those, you know, reports to the board and to the public.
I know the juniors that I spoke to with the April testing, the junior testing, it was tough.
The math section was apparently.
So your daughter probably took it too,
She
right?
did. The math section was apparently a little bit difficult for a lot of students. We have questions over the validity of that assessment to begin with. You know, that assessment was cobbled together from existing assessments and put out as sort of to try and be an indicator of what we're what we're looking for. So we haven't, you know, we'll see what we see when we see it, but I don't have a lot of faith that there's going to be a lot of directionals that come out of that data for us.
Thank you. Okay, we do have, Mr. Boyce, are there any changes to the agenda before we go into public participation?
We do, in addition to the yellow addendum that's at the front of the auditorium and also at each of your seats, there is one additional change that I'd like to read in. That's on G3, approval of appointments. For Christopher Giuliano, currently reads the position as English teacher. That should read LTS, long-term sub English teacher. And in the guide step area, the number of the guide doesn't change, but to add below that, prorated per diem. So that would be the only additional change to the addendum.
Okay. We do have some participants tonight, public participation. So it looks like Dana Williams. Are you a group? Dana Williams? Are you with somebody? Why don't you both come up? Are you related? Your family? Okay. Sisters? Sisters? Twins. You are twins. Look at that. I couldn't even tell that. I'm here.
Hello, my name is Lila Williams. I am a student at Freehold Township High School and have the great pleasure of being a member and captain of the FTHS varsity softball team. When I received the news that our school trainer, Rebecca Bernard's contract would not be renewed for the 2023 school year, my heart broke. To no surprise, this disappointment stretches beyond me, having the same effects on many of student athletes attending Freehold Township High School, which whom I plan to represent here today. My junior season is where I was really able to see the impact a great trainer can have on a team. From the first home scrimmage, I remember Rebecca standing in the dugout, and she was there for almost every game afterwards. She would arrive on her golf cart and throughout the game would take trips to other fields, ensuring the safety of the players, as well as to simply support her athletes. During the season is where I was able to understand the true job of a trainer, which was to do everything they could to enable players to play. Rebecca does just this, working hard every day after school and on weekends to do whatever it takes to get us all on the field. For only being one person, Rebecca is able to treat and guide several athletes at once, giving them all the same attentive care we all love her for. Not only is she excellent in her craft, but she is an even better person. Rebecca always greets everyone with a warm smile, which is important and reassuring. A trainer's office can be a dreadful place for many athletes, but Rebecca manages to create an incredible, positive environment where athletes feel comfortable. She has earned the trust and respect of us athletes, which is essential for a player's rehabilitation process. One personal account I can recall is one that my twin sister Dana Williams will share.
Hello, my name is Dana Williams, and I am also a member and captain of the Freehold Township varsity softball team. Last year, during the 2021 spring softball season, a big curveball was thrown my way. Nearing the end of the season, myself and the team found ourselves playing SJV in a tournament game. In later innings of the game, I slid headfirst into third base, dislocating my left shoulder. I immediately remember standing up and not being able to move or feel my left arm. Before I could process what had happened, Rebecca was already standing right by my side, smiling and telling me everything was okay. I was immediately calmed by her presence, and I trusted her. Seconds later, she popped my shoulder back in place before I even had the time to feel any pain. I did not play the rest of that game, but to everyone's surprise, Rebecca had me on the field for the next tournament game just 4 days later. I was devastated at the thought of this injury could be concluding my season, but it was Rebecca who promised me that she would do everything she could to get me on the field for the rest of the season, where I would play some of the most important games of my career. Fast forward to this season, shoulder problems are still prevailing. Rebecca continues to ensure that I'm ready to play every game, where she continues to tape and treat my left shoulder. Her work and attitude gives me the confidence to play my best and be there for my team, which means a lot to a high school athlete. Rebecca is one of the main reasons why my last softball season ever is possible, and her dedication to me personally and as an athlete is something I will be thankful for forever.
We come up here today to express how important Rebecca is to not only us, but all of our athletes at Freehold Township. After 3 years, she is now a member of every team, becoming just as vital as a coach or a teammate. We feel so blessed to have Rebecca with us for our last season, but stand here now to express our disappointment that the classes that follow us will not have the same opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Lydia Smith? Hi, Olivia.
Hi. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Hi, my name is Olivia Smith, and I am a three-sport athlete for Freehold Township. Needless to say, I am in the training room a lot. Rebecca has not only taken care of me physically, but she takes care of me mentally. I have had 4 different coaches in a 12-month span, and Rebecca has remained my constant source of strength during this difficult transition. She's positive, optimistic, and encouraging, not to mention so knowledgeable when it comes to rehab. I'm heartbroken yet again by another person being ripped away from us without any explanation. We hope you could please reconsider. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Ryan Jackson, Howe, New Jersey. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, my name is Ryan Jackson. I'm a member of the Freehold Township football team. So during my senior season, I unfortunately tore my ACL, MCL, and meniscus. During that whole process, Rebecca was right there next to me the entire time, helping me with my training, helping me get back on the field, doing what I can to move, help myself get better, and just do everything I can. Rebecca was the only one that was really next to me during this entire time. And she actually inspired me to become a physical therapist. And that's what I want to do in the future, and that's what I'll study in college. And Rebecca just has been there for me the entire time, and you guys really need to reconsider everything with her, because she's been there for all of us. And just for her to be gone doesn't really make sense. Thank you.
Thank you. How's your knee?
I'm doing good now. I'm like 9 months out. Different thing.
Tough operation.
Yeah, it took me, I was not walking for about 2 months, and now I'm finally walking.
Did you tear it, the tore it?
I completely tore the ACL, MCL, and meniscus.
Oh, Jesus. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mrs. Rottenbecker, Freehold Regional High School Education Association, and teacher at Colts Neck High School.
Sure.
Hello.
Good evening, Board of Education representatives, administrators, community members, and colleagues. My name is Sarah Reichenbecker, and I'm here tonight with Jim St. Angelo, proudly representing the education professionals of the Freehold Regional Education Association. 20 years ago, when I first began my career here in this district, teaching was a very different profession. Now, in addition to meeting the increasing demands of technology, evaluation, statutory changes, curricular updates, and navigating community sentiment towards public education, we have also adapted to the needs of our students and the world in which they live. I've sat in the back of our high school auditoriums as board members read letters in praise of teachers and marveled at what an impact, positive impact, an educator can have. What I want to share with you all now is that we all have these letters. Many of us have a file of them, and we have gone back to them, especially and increasingly so in the last 2 years, as we struggle to reconcile the exhaustion and difficulty of this profession with the passion and purpose so many of us feel. Last week, a graduate of the Fine and Performing Arts Academy spoke directly to a national audience on Jimmy Fallon and teared up, recalling how much his life was positively impacted by Stephen Kaskoff. Luckily for the district and our community, he is one of many students who have brought pride back to the regional after studying under Kaz, and so many of the other 900 exceptional educators among our membership. Collectively, when we enter these buildings carrying school bags, we also bring with us our advanced degrees, our years of continued learning, our voluntary summer fellowships, our late nights of grading, our lunchtime tutoring, our content knowledge, our perpetual worry, our constant concern, and our unwavering love. It's who we are. As this school year comes to a close, I want to recognize the work of my colleagues in and out of the classroom. I want this community to understand and acknowledge the sacrifice of public educators within this district, throughout this country, across this state, and all over America. I am beyond proud of the Freehold Regional Education Association and all that we have accomplished. Thank you.
Thank you. Listen to our spirits. Sarah, thank you.
That's what I do.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve, this is personnel negotiations. May I have a motion to approve items G1 through G21?
Second.
Ms. Capiello?
And Ms. Higley. Any discussion? Not hearing any discussion. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Capiello?
Yes on everything except in G6, I abstained for Michael Capiello, Michelle England, Brian Post, Pete Meehan, Craig Chern, Merle Norwich, and Jeremy Braverman.
Mrs. Higley?
Yes on everything except G6, I abstained for Charles Scott Kucheski, Debbie Belli, Laura Lum, Matthew Verdoni, Michael Vazone, Pat LaGravinis, Christopher Provo, Matthew Colson, Kim Bromley, Pete Meehan, Craig Chern, Michelle England, Brian Post, Jeremy Braverman, Joanne Becker, Carol Kucheski, Jennifer Dillette, Angelique Gautier, Adam Rosati, Shabri Dow, Rodney Taylor, Leanne Reckenwald, Alicia Celso, Michael Mendez, G5 for Sean Boyce, and I also abstained on G17.
Thank you.
Mrs. Lavin?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger?
Yes.
Mrs. Spinelli?
Yes.
Mr. Parisi?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes on everything except for Jeanette Bruno and Dr. Brinkley. That's G6.
All motions passed.
May I have a motion to approve items, this is under program operations, buildings, transportation, and physical plant. May I have a motion to approve H1 through I6?
Motion.
Mrs. Higley?
Second.
Mrs. Capiello? Second, Mrs. Capiello?
Yes.
Not here, any discussion? Not hearing any discussion, roll call, please.
Mrs. Capiello?
Yes.
Mrs. Higley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lavin?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger?
Yes.
Mrs. Spinelli?
Yes.
Mr. Parisi?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes. Okay, educational programs and administration. May I have a motion to approve J1 through K4?
Second.
Capiello and Mrs. Higley. Any discussion? Not hearing any discussion, may I have a roll call?
Mrs. Capiello?
Yes.
Mrs. Higley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lavin?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger?
Yes.
Mrs. Spinelli?
Yes.
Mr. Parisi?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes. Okay. Members, do we have any old business to discuss? Old business?
I have some new business, Mr. Bruno. So we just want to congratulate a few folks who are in the audience. So Ellen, if you could stand up for a second. So Ellen Giannakis will be the new academic supervisor of English at Colts Neck High School. Ellen comes to us from north yonder, Passaic Tech, has a really varied experience in the classroom, all levels of English language, is actually teaching in a STEM academy English, so really tore it up through the interview process and looking forward to having her in Freehold Regional High School District, so congratulations, Ellen.
Congratulations.
Ms. Lucarelli, if you could stand up. Holly Lucarelli is well known to the Freehold Regional High School District. Excellent longtime educator at Colts Neck High School, is a teacher of social studies. If we have a building-based need, Holly has served in some capacity over her 20 years. She's always the first person to step up and to help out. I got to know her very well through the Montclair State University program. She's going to be an awesome addition as an academic supervisor of English at Colts Neck High School. So congratulations, Holly. And Mr. Curry, yeah, Sean, there you go. So Mr. Sean Curry will be the new principal at Manalapan High School. Sean is a longtime assistant principal in the district at both Freehold Township and Colts Neck High School, and came to us, was already an assistant principal in the Saraville Public Schools at Saraville High School. Has done a phenomenal job for us the years kind of go by pretty quickly now, Sean, but for a long time here now. And we know that Sean is absolutely ready to lead a building and be the type of principal that we expect here in the Freehold Regional High School District. So Sean, congrats and welcome aboard.
Best of luck to you. Any new business? That was kind of new business. Yeah. Okay, any new business members? Okay. Not having any new business, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.